Over the years, our family's had a share of health problems.
So prescriptions are a part of our life.
Before we went to the big box store.
We both thought it would help us save. But with the long lines and impersonal service, filling prescriptions became a chore. That's when a friend recommended D&H.
Now Tristan knows our prescriptions. Brenda always helps us find the right vitamins. And after Dad's fall, Monica's been a real expert with all our home medical needs. All without the lines.
Trust and service.
That's our D&H.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends. This is Thursday, June the 20th, and we're going to talk about space today. We have a retired NASA educator with us, Pat Daugherty. Welcome to Radio Friends, Pat.
Thanks for having me.
We were talking before we went on about so many different topics with NASA and space, and then we decided, well, let's talk about Mars. There's going to be a new satellite that'll be launched sometime this fall by NASA.
Right.
Specifically to study the atmosphere of Mars.
Right. Well, there's been a number of missions that have studied the atmosphere in various ways, but none that was designed especially to study just the atmosphere. And one of their goals is to see if they can discover why Mars lost its atmosphere in the first place.
Do they believe that Mars had an atmosphere closer to Earth than it has now?
Well, they know that at one time it probably had a denser atmosphere. The composition, and again, this mission may help them discover what that previous composition of that atmosphere was. There's things that have occurred on the surface that would indicate that it was a stronger atmosphere, a denser atmosphere, more like what we'd have on Earth. Not necessarily the same ratio of gases like oxygen, nitrogen, etc., but that these elements were present in the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Currently, it's mostly carbon dioxide.
You know, when you look at these pictures that come back from the Mars rover,
right?
It's mind-boggling. It looks like you're looking at the desert in Nevada.
Right.
It looks like you're looking at some place on Earth. And when you realize you're looking at a planet, the planet Mars, which is millions of miles away from here, but yet it looks so much like Earth.
It does. And the most recent data coming back, they've confirmed that there are pebbles in conglomerate, that's a mixture of various rocks and minerals, that these pebbles could only be formed in a stream, a flowing stream.
Of water.
Of water. And
right.
They've estimated that it may have been from anywhere from ankle up to a meter deep and moving at a pretty fast rate.
Okay. Have we surveyed and seen the entire surface of the planet Mars or not?
Yes, with one satellite or the other.
We've seen the entire surface.
Right.
Because my next question was going to be, well, if somebody landed a rover in the Nevada desert, they could say Earth was like that, but they hadn't seen the cities.
Yeah, right.
Is there any chance that we're going to discover some type of microscopic life on that planet?
Well, they know that there's water below the surface. The
water that we have here on Earth.
Right,
we could go, if we were on Mars, we could take that water and drink that water.
Well, I assume that it's not, toxic from minerals or arsenic or something like that. But what they've only discovered so far is that it's frozen in the form of ice. But they think perhaps even deeper, where it's not quite as cold, that there may be microbial life. In fact, a top scientist at NASA told me a few years ago that he'd bet a month's pay that they're going to find life there.
That they are going to find life?
They're going to find life. Now, not, Martians, but microbial life of some sort.
Well, that would be Martian. Microbial life, if they're found on Mars, they're
right.
Martian.
Well, they're not little green men with, antenna or anything.
No, exactly. But when I stop and think about this, it really is mind-boggling. Now, we have another probe out there somewhere that is, or is it a telescope, that is looking for Earth-like planets?
Right, called Kepler.
It's called Kepler.
Right.
That could harbor life as we know it on Earth. And they have found many Earth-like planets, have they not?
They've found a lot of planets, only a very few that are within the habitable zone that are small enough, 1 to 2 times the size of Earth, that they could possibly hold water on the surface and an atmosphere. They haven't confirmed any of that. They've found these planets that are in the habitable zone. That's what they're looking for.
The habitable zone.
Yeah.
But we don't have the technology, do we, from Earth to be able to detect on another solar system that there is life on this planet that is in the habitable zone.
Well, if the life on that planet is anything similar to ours, then it's producing chemicals and a signature that could be analyzed and confirm that yes, there's some form of life. We've got methane in this atmosphere. We have other byproducts that are only produced biologically, and so there must have been at one time at least life on that planet.
So we're looking for that.
Oh, yes.
We also have these radio telescopes that are listening for signs of intelligence radio signals,
SETI,
right?
yeah, SETI, yeah, the SETI program.
Is this part of NASA?
No, it's not. It's separate. I think NASA cooperates, with them. Maybe there's some sharing of computer time and all. But then you can go online and sign up and have your computer analyze some of this data from SETI.
I read that. How does that work? So you can sign up and have your computer analyze the radio signals that are coming down, and you might be the one in your own house telling the world that, hey, wait a minute, I heard an intelligent life here.
Yes, it's possible.
So how do you do that?
I don't know the web address, but if you went on and typed SETI, just type SETI, S-E-T-I.
S-E-T-I.
Yeah, it would take you eventually to the right place to do that. And what they do is when your computer's idle, like at night, early in the morning.
But you have to be on the web.
Yeah, they feed data, and they give you the program to do the analysis, so you can pick it out.
And so you sign up for this, and your computer, 1 in a billion, but you might be the one that says, right. Oh, I found something here. So the best thing to do is go online and Google any of this information that you want to find out more about with NASA or with SETI.
Right. If you go to NASA, there's a, up in the menu bar, just click on missions, and all the missions that NASA has or ever had are right there.
Yeah, and you can watch live NASA TV also.
Right, absolutely. Right.
A lot of live beaming from the space station.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Pat Daugherty, always a pleasure to have you here talk about outer space.
I enjoy it.
All right, retired educator from NASA.
Thank you.
I hope we have a good summer. Let's see. Tomorrow, Maplewood Barn and recycling news will be our topic. Our program directed by Travis McMillen of the Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio is Pat Akers from KBIA. Our flow director is Rich Polzin, and our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. Something you'd like to hear or see, I would love to hear from you. Drop me an email at pepperp@missouri.edu. And if you'd like to watch these programs or listen to them, sign up for a free vodcast or podcast at kbia.org.